Leo, who fainted, dreamed of his time as the Demon King. He was sitting with a goddess named Roselia. Celia tried using her vampire powers to heal Leo's wounds. Leo opened his eyes, making Celia happy. Roselia had already assigned Leo the task of finding her when he returned to life in the future. Leo intended to use the sword given by Roselia to lead him to her. He was determined not to lose until he successfully found Roselia. Leo stood up after his wounds had healed enough thanks to the blood provided by Celia. Leo thought that his memories resurfaced because Celia replenished the blood he had drawn. The undead saw Leo awake and instructed him to hand over all enemies to them. Then, Leo asked for a small tear in Celia's dress to heal his wounds. Celia tore her dress and gave it to Leo. Leo attached the tear to his chest and the wound quickly healed. Void Tears, who had fallen, tried to rise. Leo wanted to borrow Celia's power to annihilate the void. Leo's demon sword was running low on power, but it still had some strength left. Seeing this, William and his friends wanted to offer their souls to increase Leo's power. And if their souls were not enough, Leo could use the souls of all the citizens in the city. The knight's souls, having acquired spiritual bodies, revitalized the spirits as tears-made offerings, causing the souls of the citizens to emerge. William asked Leo to grant his request. Leo agreed and raised his sword. He uttered a few words to the sword, using the Slagira technique, and suddenly a red sphere emerged from the sword. The red sphere absorbed the souls of the city's residents. William and his friends were about to leave, but Leo told them to stop. He directed his sword to the ground and used magic. Soulless skeletons emerged from the hole and stood in front of each Crystalia knight. The skeletons retreated, allowing the souls of William and his friends to enter them. Leo told Celia to take the Crystalia knights. He couldn't leave because his sword was gathering power. He entrusted his life to Celia. Celia raised her sword and used her blood to summon 7 spears. The spears flew towards the Crystalia knights, and they held the spears. The 3 undead were also enthusiastic in fighting the voids. Some angelic voids near Void Tears flew towards them. Celia told the Crystalia knights to follow her. Finny had successfully unlocked the authentic key to a vehicle parked in a building. She told Regina and Sakuya to get on quickly. However, Arl suddenly arrived and asked them to take her along. Regina was worried seeing Arl still injured. Then, angelic voids came from behind, and Arl destroyed them with her Demon Slayer sword. She intended to eliminate the other voids with her sword. Sakuya, seeing Arl's determination, told Fining to take Arl along. Finny agreed and told them to leave immediately. The Crystalia knights destroyed the heads of the angelic voids approaching them. Celia also flew to annihilate the voids that were higher above the ground. The 3 undead also crushed the voids with their weapons. Meanwhile, Leo continued absorbing the souls of the city's residents. Finny's group boarded the vehicle and sped away. Then the voids flew above them. Finny used her Excalibur to control Regina's vehicle. Regina activated Drag Howl and shot the voids with the bazooka she held. Sakuya stood and raised his sword, slashing through the voids that passed by him. Celia told the Crystalia knights to use the echelon formation. However, Celia became careless. One void attacked from behind, causing Celia to fall. Amalys attacked the void, while Orkdal caught the fallen Celia. Both of them warned Celia to be careful. But Celia didn't want the events of 6 years ago to repeat. She jumped and then flew towards the voids, intending to use all of her strength to answer Leo's trust. The 3 undead were pleased with Celia's spirit and also attacked the voids with their weapons. Celia saw the red sphere from Leo's sword growing larger. The sphere was still absorbing the souls of the city's residents. It was almost finished gathering the power from Leo's sword. However, Leo was restless because Void Tears was about to launch another destruction spell. The angelic voids flew around Void Tears to sing the hymn of the Holy Order. Leo saw the incoming attack and told everyone to run from the place. A large magic circle appeared, pointing towards Leo and the others. Then dozens of small meteors emerged from the magic circle, destroying and burning the entire area. Leo and the others used shields and then flew away from the place. Leo's sword was also almost finished gathering power from the souls of the city's residents. Finey tried to contact Celia, but Celia didn't answer, causing Regina to worry. Arl saw Void Tears in the distance and decided to prepare energy before reaching there. Finey noticed a collapsed road ahead and decided to jump over the debris. They successfully leaped over the ruins, but a larger angelic void appeared behind them. Regina tried to attack, but the void remained unharmed. When they were cornered, the void was suddenly attracted by a rope and crashed into a building. The one pulling the void was Sherry, who considered it a toy. The angelic voids continued to emerge. The three undead attacked the voids with their weapons, while the Crystalia Knights worked together to defeat them. Leo had finished gathering power and was now preparing to attack. However, Void Tears suddenly released another large magic circle. Leo was surprised that Void Tears could use the destruction magic 3 times. Leo didn't allow it and then raised his sword. The sword absorbed the power from the red sphere. Void Tears lifted a building, surprising Leo again. Celia told Leo to leave it to her. Void Tears threw the building towards Celia. Celia swung her sword and shattered the building. Leo continued absorbing power from the red sphere for his sword. Meanwhile, Void Tears had released another large magic circle. Leo had finished gathering power, but he was surprised as Void Tears activated the high-level Holy Protection. Leo didn't give up and tried to defeat Void Tears. Fena's group in the vehicle found Void Tears, but there was a collapsed road ahead. Arl stood up and raised her sword. Feeney intended to jump again and told Sakuya to hold on. Regina held her bazooka, preparing to attack Void Tears. Sakuya lifted his sword and aimed it at Void Tears. Then, they jumped over the collapsed road. Their combined attack hit Void Tears' shield. Arl lifted her sword and aimed it at Void Tears. A laser beam shot out from the sword, penetrating Void Tears' shield and causing damage to its abdomen. The sudden destruction of Void Tears' shield left Leo puzzled. Fina and the others couldn't control their vehicles and fell after jumping. Void Tears, in pain, held its wounded stomach. Leo, having finished gathering power, directed his sword towards Void Tears. The sword emitted a light that illuminated Void Tears' entire body. Celia and the undead observed this light. The angelic voids vanished after being exposed to the light. Shortly afterward, the light also managed to scorch Void Tears. The city continued moving towards the 7th Assault Garden. However, the previously dark weather had turned bright. They could see the sunlight from that place. The spirits of the Crystalia Knights emerged from their frames. They felt honored to have fought until the end. Celia felt sad seeing them go to their family's place. William urged Celia to stay alive and fulfill the mission as part of the Crystalia family. Then, the spirits of William and his friends flew into the sky and disappeared shortly after. Celia, saddened, heard Regina's shout. Leo told the 3 undead to return immediately. Celia and Leo ran towards the shout. Regina approached Celia, and they embraced. Fina and the others survived. Arl, who was unconscious, had also managed to do something extraordinary. She successfully attacked Void Tears. 3 jet planes approached the city. The planes landed near Leo and the others. Fenris and his friends exited the planes and saw the surviving 18-person platoon. He instructed the medical team to come down immediately and check the condition of the platoon. After the examination, the platoon boarded the planes along with Arl. Leo, upon seeing Arl, was confident that she was the one who destroyed the Holy Protection. However, he was puzzled because the elf hero was in that era. The 4 planes flew away, leaving the 3rd Assault Garden. Celia, holding a book, worriedly observed Leo's restlessness. Leo inquired about the book Celia was holding. Celia thought it was a storybook from her father's room, but it seemed she was mistaken. Her father used to tell stories while opening that book. The story was about the Demon King riding a skeletal horse and having a skeletal army. The Demon King could also breathe fire. Leo was surprised and denied Celia's words. Celia was confused because Leo denied her father's story. Even though the story sounded ordinary, Leo found it quite interesting. Then, Celia jokingly mentioned that Leo resembled the Demon King. Leo was surprised and immediately denied it. Leo inquired about the end of the Demon King. Celia replied that the Demon King was defeated by heroes, and the story ended happily. After hearing the story, Leo felt annoyed. While Celia was taking a shower, Leo called Blackus and Sherry. Leo asked them about Nephakis. Blackus remembered Nephakis as one of the 8 kings. Nephakis also ruled Lord Azrael's territory and attended the meeting 1,000 years ago. Nephakis had offered tears and created a fake Roselia. If Nephakis reappeared, Leo intended to silence him. Sherry warned Leo to be cautious of Arl. Currently, Arl was in the airport medical facility. Leo instructed Sherry to keep an eye on Arl and investigate her motives. Sherry inquired about Celia, who received a dress from Leo. Then, Sherry looked at the dress, got angry, and called Leo foolish. Leo got angry and shouted. Celia quickly approached Leo, wearing only a towel. Leo told Celia to get dressed, but Celia just sat next to Leo. Exhausted, Celia desired Leo's blood. Leo instructed Celia to do it slowly, but Celia immediately lunged at Leo. Regina, in the kitchen, planned to make sweet food for Leo. Feeney investigated Stampede's 7th Assault Garden, the Hyperion incident, and the 3rd Assault Garden incident. She believed that these 3 events were interconnected. Sakuya was practicing swordsmanship outside the headquarters, aiming to compete with Arl. Arl, who had fainted, woke up and quickly stood up. She realized that her mission was not finished as long as she hadn't disappeared. The 18-person platoon was surprised to hear a sound from the direction of the airport. Leo was puzzled because problems always occurred in the city. He intended to find Roselia immediately. The 2 of them would restore their kingdom and control all of humanity. Leo and Celia went for a walk. From the opposite direction, a mother and her daughter were also walking. The child stumbled, causing the popcorn she was holding to fly. Leo caught the child, and the popcorn landed on Leo's head. The mother told her child to apologize, and the child apologized to Leo. Leo didn't mind and then smiled at the little girl.